California Sober, and other medical gobbledygook. Really? All right, in this podcast, we're going to take a look at medicine and how it impacts our program and how some solutions may or may not be the best possible choice. Well, an illness of this sort, and we have come to believe it is an illness, involves those about us in a way that no other human sickness can. End quote. Page 18, Big Book. Addiction is not new, whether it's alcohol or opioids or some other designer drug. The concept of addiction has been in our history since we could record it, and probably even before, since it's been noted in the Bible not to tarry at the wine. Don't drink too much, is what I guess they were saying. We've had science in our program since the very start. In fact, it's right in the preface of every version of our big book. It's the doctor's opinion because it was a seminal part of how this program came into being. The understanding that they could finally cure something after doctors had seen for decades just the absolute destruction that alcohol did. In the first version of our big book, Dr. Silkworth did not attach his name to the opinion. In fact, he was worried that if he had done that, he might have lost his job. But fortunately, it was widely accepted and understood, and from the versions forward, he is noted as the author of the doctor's opinion. If you caught my last podcast, New School Alkies, we discussed how the ACA and Obamacare changed the landscape and changed the thought process regarding science and medical addiction and illness like I have. So, a little bit about the evolution of alcohol recovery is right there in the big book. Read the first chapter. Read the Hampshire Grenadier quote right on page one. I mean, it was what was the norm in the past. You drank beer or some sort of mild alcohol or fermented beverage because you couldn't drink the water. You couldn't drink the water because everything from human to animal waste wound up in the local creek and it was contaminated. And if you drank it, you'd get dysentery or possibly die. All right, let's move on to happier pastures. So let's talk about geographic rehabs. This is the concept that if I move away, I can get away from all my problems. Oh, Mo, poor me. I lost my job here in Iowa or east, north, somewhere, and all my friends have, abandoned me. Well, is that because you drank too much and you couldn't make it to work and your friends got tired of paying for all your beer because you wiped them out? There's an old quote, no matter where you go, there you are. I had experience with this actually in high school. When I grew up in high school, I knew everybody in town. Up until my junior year in high school, we could get beer or something from somebody just by walking into town. We knew everybody, all those that were old enough to buy. I got shipped off in my senior year of high school to Pennsylvania because we had family down there and things changed in our immediate family that we needed to relocate. Bad luck, loss of money, downturn in the economy. I went from a place where I knew everybody and I was hooked up to a place where they have these things called PLCBs, and you don't get served there. You cannot purchase liquor there if you are not of age. I didn't know anyone except family, and really don't think grandma's gonna buy me a pint. So what did I do? I hooked up with the local weed dealer, and pretty quickly I had geographically rehabbed and changed and done one addiction for another. And then when I graduated and moved on to college, I was right back in the scene and I could mix it up as I wanted. Just because you move is not necessarily going to cure you. Long night, maybe you need a B12, pick me up in the morning. or an IV hydration kit with some vitamins, or do you need a rapid detox, 24 to 36 hours at a hospital? Now, I go back and forth about this, and I may not know enough to truly understand it, but I have heard in the past people discuss rapid detox as a way to clean up and get started with their program. I've also heard of those that prior to really getting serious used a rapid detox just to dry out because they were a little bit overdone and then did not follow up. So I don't know if that's medical gobbledygook because I don't know enough about it. Now, for those of you who decided to tune in for California Sober, before we get to being California Sober, guess what we used to do to you, people? It was called the belladonna treatment. The belladonna treatment was invented in 1910 by Charles Towns, and he used belladonna and various other deliriants, as they're called. In other words, he used stuff that could kill you in various doses to detox you. And then guess what, guys and gals? When you were done, they ran you through with castor oil to flush the bowels. Oh, that had to be a lot of fun. So, is that really how you want to detox? Ah, my goodness, ouch. Or do you want to say, hey, I'm detoxing because I'm California sober? Oh, no, it's just a gummy. No, 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 no. If you are not under the medical supervision of a prescribing physician, you are not, in my opinion, following the program. I am not saying you have to abstain from everything because I don't believe that. I believe that if methadone is required or naproxen is required or some of these other drugs that have come on that help reduce cravings, then that is between you and your prescribing doctor. Not my opinion and not my choice to tell you otherwise. But I can be of the opinion that if you decide to stop drinking, but you're doing other things, then no, you are not in the program. You might as well go and, drink O'Doul's or something. I've even heard that they've come up with a non-alcoholic scotch, which make those of us that used to love that product really kind of pissed off because I don't think that I could try it because I think the thought processes associated with it will be too difficult. My brain would not know the difference. And then I would be like, if I can drink it non-alcoholic, like, why can't I just go ahead and have a regular one? That's not the slippery slope that I want to go down. Remember, I have an obsession of the mind that wants me to take that first drink. I have a disease of the body that knows that the minute I take that first drink, I won't be able to stop. So as long as I don't do the first thing, which is take that drink, I won't trigger the body. This concludes season one. I hope you have enjoyed some of these out of the box thought processes and discussions regarding our AA program. And as Bill Murray said in that great movie Stripes, that's the fact, Jack. Until next season or the next time I see you at a meeting, take care.